from Alkatraz. Been wrestling for about 8 years. There happened to be a school where I lived, and then it was just right down the street from my house, so I got involved because I got tired of boozing and fighting. Too many problems on the street, so why not take it into a ring? That's how I got started.
So what, was it your dream at all when you were a little kid to be a pro wrestler, or?
Not at all, man. Parents actually wouldn't even let me watch wrestling. I didn't get into wrestling until prior to like the Hogan Macho Man era, with the was it Saturday night main events. Started watching it then. Became a fan. Would always go to the shows when they would come around, and that was it. Never thought I would do it until, like I said, I saw this school right by my house, and just thought, why not?
My parents telling me to watch wrestling, and I think that's why I'm a bigger fan now than I would be if I was watching it my whole childhood.
You know, it's funny, my parents watch it now too, because I'm involved and stuff, so they just totally flip their script, and it's pretty funny.
Well, what's been like in all your matches you had, has there been like one match that just something went wrong, or just something crazy, or you got stiff, or just a match that you remember in particular that was kind of different than every other match?
I think every match is different. I mean, I've been fortunate not to have serious injuries or anything. That would be the worst thing for me in a match. But there's been some moments like down in Mexico where the promoter turned the whole locker room on us. That was supposed to be an angle, and turned the locker room on us outside. And so that was kind of scary, but I've been fortunate not to have too much of any negative problems in the ring.
How many years have you been a pro wrestler, and how are you going about trying to move up into the bigger companies?
Now, I've wrestled like 8 years, but it's just hard. You gotta know people, or you gotta be in the right place at the right time. Obviously, you gotta put on size. You gotta be a big guy. You gotta have a look. And so, I'm trying to do all that, but it's just a matter of getting the right place at the right time. Connections. It's unfortunate because there's a lot of guys here today that bust their ass. They might not have the size or the look, but they would be a hell of a lot better than a lot of guys on TV right now. But their size or their look is their curse, and it's unfortunate.
You used to be a tag team partner with Jesus, or Aaron Aguilera, or Hardcore Kid, whatever you want to call him. What was it like tagging with him for so many years, and then you see him going up there?
It's great because I was able to get to know him, and he even before I even got the tag with him, you could see he was something special, and that guy has worked hard. He deserves it, and it was just it's like seeing me out there when I see him out there. So it's real fun to watch him.
What are your dreams now that you're a pro wrestler and you've accomplished getting this far in your career? Like, you work with some of the bigger feds here in Southern California, like UPW, Mexico. Like, what's your dream now in your career?
Well, I mean, I've been fortunate also. I can say I've done it all in a way, but it's not been where it's been consistent. I mean, I've main evented pay-per-views in Japan. Like you said, I've been on AAA's biggest show of the year. I've done UPW here with big shows here, and it's just a WWE TV, but it's not where it's a steady job, and that's what I want it to be, steady. It's once, twice a year, big shows like that. It's not where I want to be. My goal and my dream is to make this my job. I want this to pay my bills. But if
thank you very much, brother.
This is the payoff. Thanks, Bart.
What for a wrestler like yourself on the indies, like in Southern California? California of all places. Connecticut or WWE can't get any further than that in the States. Like, what does somebody like you do to try and get up there?
Man, you like I said, you got to know people. Or I'm really not sure how it works. Send tapes. You know, it's kind of like a hustle, man. You gotta get yourself out there and promote yourself. And if you don't know the right people, or you could send a tape to WWE, but if you don't send it to the right person that sends it to the right person, they're not gonna look at it. So it's a big old hustle. That's all it is, a big old hustle.
How did WCW and ECW going out of business affect indie wrestlers like yourself?
I think it shut down jobs, because obviously WCW had their smaller feds, or what do you call them? What the hell you call them, dude? Like WCW had their developmentals. That shut down. And they shut down obviously a lot of jobs. All WCW guys filled up WWE spaces, so and then you got all the rest of those guys that didn't make the cut out working indies trying to make money, so it just pushed everybody back a few steps in the business, and it's unfortunate.
What like injuries in pro wrestling? You haven't suffered anything serious?
Yeah, I mean, I've had my hip go out a lot, broken toes, like minor things that just ache, dislocated shoulders, broken fingers, a lot of small things that they just F with you for months. But, it happens. This is a physical thing, It's not no freaking ballet dancing in there. It's physical, and that's what I don't think people understand, how physical this business is. It's very physical.
Got it? Now go straight. There you go.
So nail that chair well.
I'll ask you about the California indie scene. What do you think about the California independent wrestling scene?
Well, shit. It's good and bad. Like I said earlier, you got some guys that can work. They work their ass off, but their size holds them back. And then you got some other dudes that go out and buy a pair of boots and some tights and call themselves a wrestler. So I mean, it's good and bad, but in general, I mean, the workers in general are good, but it's just not enough feds out there going around. I don't know if it's there's no desire to run or what, but overall though, the talent's great. So it's just, we need some more promoters out there to make with some money, run some feds, rent out some buildings, get some fans to know about the SoCal scene.
Why do you think a lot of fans, there must be at least 500,000 wrestling fans in Los Angeles? Why aren't the indie feds drawing crowds?
Dude, if I knew the answer to that question, you and me would be millionaires, promoters, man. We'd be shit. I don't, it's, maybe it's the promoting, but you got to have money to promote. So it's a catch-22. You got to promote. You don't have the money to promote. There's I don't know, man. I can't tell you the truth. Maybe the fans aren't into a lot of the Fed style out here. I mean, this AWS here is unique in a way that they throw every different match your way. You got your hardcore, your lucha, your Japanese strong style, your WWE style, all in one show. And I think that's kind of the way we need to go now. I think that's what's working. It's been working for Bart, but I couldn't tell you, man. I wish I knew the answer, because like I said, you and me be millionaires, brother.
What I was gonna ask you, what do you think will resurrect the business to what it was in '98 and '99?
Vince McMahon to stop trying to monopolize everything. He's taken the heart and soul out of wrestling, is what he's done. he's turned Raw and SmackDown into a freaking soap opera. And shit, you can watch Days of Our Lives and you're gonna see the same thing on SmackDown that same night. But you know, it's just he needs to go back to the old school style or something, you know. And I think that's what's hurting the business.
Do you think that like, have you ever given thought to like wrestlers forming a union?
I don't know, man, if that would work. Because I mean, there's got to be a demand for the wrestlers. And right now, I could start I could run a show and I can get 8 matches with and guys will work for free. That's how unfortunate it is, you know. So I don't know if a union would work because somebody will wrestle for $5, you know. And that's because how the business is out here in the SoCal scene. There's not enough feds out here. I think maybe we can only count about 5 that I know of. If even that, I'm not even sure. And so everybody's wanting to work and everybody's wanting to wrestle. So they're gonna wrestle for free for $5, whatever it takes, just to get on the show and be a part of the scene. So.
You see a lot of wrestlers like just buying boots and tights and just trying to get into it without even training. Or?
Man, it's I don't know if it's the schools that, if they are even going to a school, if it's the schools that's got them in this mentality or what. But I mean, where I'm from, man, there's a lot of respect for the business and you know, for someone to just go out and buy a pair of boots and call himself a wrestler. I mean, if you took me and we walked down the street and I told someone that I'm a professional wrestler and you told someone you're a professional wrestler, who are they going to believe? You know what I mean? And it depends. I mean, I understand there's guys that are just doing this for the weekends, and I respect that. You know, they're just living out a dream and it's the weekends. And that's great, but at the same time, don't go around telling people that you're a professional wrestler and, you know, that's your life. But if you want to be taken serious and you want to be taken serious in the business, then get your ass in the gym, get a look, you know, get a good gimmick, and you might get somewhere in this business, and you're going to be taken a lot seriously by a lot of people also. And I think that's, you know, like going back to your question, that's just the biggest difference. You got the guys that just go out and buy tights and boots and don't give a shit about how they look, weighing 120 pounds and coming out here and calling themselves wrestlers, you know. And then you got the other guys that are taking this shit serious, that are in the gym busting their ass 5-6 days a week. So.
Would you mind like talking about why you don't like New Jack?
It's not New Jack in general. It's just. I think there's a line of respect in the business, and I think he crossed it. I mean, he see the thing. I respect him because he did ECW TV. He was over huge, you know, and he didn't get that way overnight. He had to bust his ass and do it. But at the same time, there's guys that want to come into this business and they're getting thrown into New Jack's matches, you know, as the young guy. And he's beating the shit out of them. He's not showing them the respect that they deserve to get into that match, you know. And that's just and I know there's a lot of guys. Shit that happened to me when I wrestled freaking Test on WWE TV. Fucking dude just beat the shit out of me, you know, and didn't show me any respect. He didn't sell my punches, you know. And it was just, hey, take it easy, guys. And it was just. You know, I left after that match. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing here? I've busted my ass, you know. I'm not on TV, but I'm fucking trying to get there. And that's, you know, some guy that I look up to because he's on TV, you know, treats me like that. It's just like, is this where I want to be? You know, do I want to get into a match with New Jack and have him, you know, beat the shit out of me with sticks and shit, not show me the respect that I deserve? I mean, is that where I want to go in this business, or do I want to take the high road and bust my ass and get in the ring with guys that respect the business just as much as I do? So, you know, it's just how you look at the business.
What was it like being backstage in WWE? Like, what kind of environment was it?
It's interesting, man, because, you know, you're walking on eggshells the whole time back there. You don't. It's really weird. But at the same time, there's a lot of guys that you wouldn't expect to come up to you and talk to you. But at the same time, the rule back there is you really don't go up to anybody. You kind of just stick to yourself, because basically you're looked at as a piece of shit back there. Not necessarily a piece of shit, but you're a nobody, so you kind of just, stay out of everybody's way. And if somebody comes up and talks to you, then of course you talk to them. But it's not a fun. It's for myself. It's kind of disheartening in a way, because it's like, is this where I want to? You're backstage 3, 4, 5 days a week with these people. Is this the life, the business, the job that I want to do? So it's got its ups and downs, but I'm sure that's just how they are to the new people. If that's how they are to new people, then that's great.
Who did you get along with back then? Like, who came up to you that was really polite?
It was cool, because it's all the guys you wouldn't expect. The guys that are the Stone Cold, the Hardy Boys back when they were on top, Triple H, the Undertaker, fucking Big Show. These guys are awesome, man. They make you feel welcome back there. These are the guys that are the main eventers every night. The guys that are making the millions, and they're treating you like one of the boys. And that's the positive side to it, and that's what makes you want to get in the business, because you see these guys that you do look up to that are treating you with respect. But then you also got the guys that are trying to get to where they're at, and I understand where they're coming from in a way, because they're looking at you as you're trying to take their job. And so I'm assuming that's where they come from. What was that Albert guy? What was his name? Albert. What the fuck was his name with all the
Prince
tattoos?
Albert
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
You're an asshole. Fucking that guy is a dick, man. But
What did he do?
he's the biggest dick in the bag to all the boys, man. Like all of us coming up, other guys that got like dark matches, the guys that are showing up before shows to do tryouts in the ring. That guy was just a big piece of shit, man. Fuck you.
That's cool.
Right on.